So just to recap what we have seen in the last few sessions. So we have seen what is the difference between marketing, what is the difference between marketing and decisioning, what is next best action, how to set up the environment to enable the to enable the CDH services, to set up the node classification, like we need to set the ADM, DDS, RTDG real-time services. Then we have created the application. After creating the application, we have seen the overview of how the application looks like, which contains the artifacts rule set, rules rule set, NBAD test rule set. All those rule sets we have seen and the purpose of those rule sets. So then we have started with the business taxonomy, which is the first thing that you will do, where you will create the business issue, the business group, and the proposition name. Okay, the business issue, business group, and the proposition name. So that is what we have seen as part of the application creation and all those. Okay. Any questions till here? Before we go a step further. Okay. Otherwise, let us proceed. Let us proceed with the next steps. So we have seen creating the business issue, business group, propositions. Then we have also added some properties also. That is what we have seen. So what we will do, we'll try to insert some propositions using bulk today. Okay, we'll try to insert the propositions using bulk. So if you see, this is my business issue, which is the purpose for promotion, that is grow. The grow, what I am promoting, which is nothing but category of the promotion, which is credit cards, right? So the purpose of the promotion is to grow. Okay, the purpose of the promotion is to grow. The category of the promotion is credit cards. That means I want to promote credit cards. I want to promote mobiles. I want to promote t-shirts. I want to promote furniture. So that is called as business group, which is category of what you are promoting. Then within the business group, we have the propositions, which we have created on the last day. Then we have also added the fields as well, right? So that is what we have seen in the last session. So let us see how do we do it in bulk also. So if you see here, these are my propositions, which is nothing but whatever I promote, these are the propositions, standard card, rewards plus card, premier rewards card, all these are my propositions, right? Now, let us see. Okay, let us see how do we do it in bulk, right? How do we do it in bulk? So that is what we are going to see now. Okay. So these are my propositions. That is, this is the credit card which I am going to propose to my customers. So what I am doing, I am going to, and we have also seen creating the properties, right, in the form tab. So we have seen creating the properties, like for example, we have seen annual income, annual interest, monthly EMI. So like the two properties we created. And also we have created drop down also, right? Within the form tab, you can add a text input, which is a linear property, or if you want to add a page list or some drop downs, checkboxes, you can use custom form and then also you can create, right? So all these we have seen in the last session. Now let us see how do we do the bulk import and bulk export. So I'm exporting it. Okay, I'm exporting it. Okay. So now what I'm doing, I'm just opening this. Okay, I'm just opening this. So you can see that there are 4 propositions are there. So I'm going to add, let us say 2 more propositions. Okay, I'm going to add 2 more propositions here. So copy. Okay, I'm pasting it here. Copy and paste. And so then what I'm doing here is I'm going to, if you see, very important, okay, very important. The purpose of the promotion is what? Can anyone tell what is the purpose of the promotion? What is this? What is that? What is the name of that? Anyone?
Rewards.
No, I'm just asking what is the purpose of the promotion? What do you call it? In this entire thing, what is the purpose of the promotion?
Grow.
Correct. So that is nothing but business issue, right? Business group is nothing but what category, right? Whatever the category of whatever you are promoting, like discounts, mobiles, etc. So this particular property is called PY issue, okay, in the backend. So something, everything will be there in the backend, right, in the clipboard. So this property name is PY issue, okay. Business issue property name is PY issue. Business group property name is PY group, okay. So again, everything will be there in the SR class. So if you remember last time I told you, when you create at least one business issue, which is the purpose of the promotion, then automatically this SR class will be created. Okay, it will be in the format application ID dash SR dash issue name dash group name. That is what I'm seeing here. This is my application ID dash SR. Grow is the issue name and credit cards is the group name, right? Credit cards is the group name. That is how it will be created. If there is no group, then it will be till here only. That is how it will be there, right? So that's what we can see here also. Now, whatever the whatever the proposition that you add, whatever the properties that you create, everything will be there under this SR class only. Okay. For example, if you create some property under credit card, so then it will be here. That means if you create some property here, right? So it will be here only. So same inheritance concept applies here also, because we are in Pega only, right? So same inheritance concept applies here. So that means if you want a property that needs to be used in all these issues and all the groups under those issues, then you can keep it under SR level. Okay, you can give, for example, there is some property called customer ID. That customer ID is common for all these issues, right? Which you can keep it under SR level. Same, right? For example, how you do in Pega development, same concept, inheritance concept works here. So you cannot access the property that is there in the child from the parent, but you can access the parent properties, parent rules and everything in the child. From the child, you can access it. Same inheritance concept applies here also. Okay. So depending on what is your requirement, if the requirement is like, for example, some property specific to credit cards only, create it here. Otherwise, if it needs to be used in other issues also, then create at issue level or create at group SR level, you create like that. Okay. So remember that thing. So inheritance is applies here also. Coming to the properties which I am telling, the business issue is present under PY issue. Okay. Business issue is present under PY issue. So if you see here, this is the exported file. So this is my PY issue. See, this is the one, grow. It is present under PY issue. Business group is present under the property PY group. So if you go to the right side, okay, yes, this is it. Okay, this is the one. PY group is nothing but the business group. So again, remember, business group is category of the promotion. Business issue is purpose of the promotion. Okay. So PY group contains the business group property. PY issue contains the business issue. Then what is the property for offer? The proposition, right? So don't call it offer, call it as proposition. Because it can be an offer, it can be discount, it can be service, it can be anything. So if you say offer, then other, if something else is being proposed, it will be difficult. That's the reason. So we call it proposition, which is present under PY name. Okay. PY name is the proposition name. PY issue is the business issue. PY group is the business group. So 99% of the properties are PY properties. So simply you can say PY issue, PY group, just the proposition only it will be, it is PY name. It's not PY proposition, it is PY name. That is a proposition name where the proposition will be present. So I'm just updating the card. I'm adding a new card. I'm calling as air ticket rewards card, something like that. That's what I'm giving. And the PY label, this is the PY label. Yeah, not this. I think PY label is somewhere. So PY label is the description. Okay, remember that PY label is a offer, that is a proposition description. You call it as PY label. Okay, you call it as PY label. So these are the backend properties that we have: PY issue, PY group, PY name, py label. Okay. Same way, let us add one more. I will add one more proposition. Okay, I'll add one more proposition. Okay, so I'm just keeping the py issue as grow. And so py is proposition active is whether that option is there, right? If you remember, I have showed you yesterday in the last session, whether the proposition is active always, never, within a defined time period, right? That means I told you, right, one scenario, some particular offer, some particular discount should be applied only during Christmas season. So you can set the start date and end date, right? You can set the start date and end date within the proposition, right? So this particular options that you see, this is nothing but the corresponds to py is proposition active. That is a property name in the backend. So again, when you are doing some technical changes, some customization, right, you need to know these properties, or you should also know this. It's very important to remember this properties name. One is py issue, py group, py name. These three are very important. Then we have py label, py is proposition active, that is also there. Okay. But the three most important are py issue, py group, py name. Py issue is the business issue name, py group is the business group, py name is the proposition name. So this one I'm giving some other name, something like Emirates card. Okay, I'm giving a name as Emirates card. That's what I'm giving. Okay. Okay. So what I will do, I'll just save this and I will upload it again. And we'll see how it is inserting. Any questions till here?
No, Ravi.
So what I'm doing.
Last screen share.
Yeah, I only stopped it.
Okay.
Okay, so what I did, I just clicked on import, then I selected the file. So that's what I did. I clicked on import and I selected the file. Now I click on load. Because in real-time projects, you can have hundreds or even thousands of propositions also. That is also possible. Because all these are what? All these are products. Every business, the bank or whatever Pega is handling, they are big businesses. They might have thousands or 10,000s of propositions also, right? So we cannot keep on adding one by one, one by one. So the general procedure is you will provide the template to the business saying that please add your offers or propositions or products, whatever it is, to this template. Then we will import it. That is what you will do. Okay. Simply they will add all the rows. They will populate it manually or using some software. They will populate it. They will give you back that file, that CSV file. You will simply import it. That's it. Now you can see it's imported. Of course, I did not change the description. So that's why it is coming same. But you can see the two additional propositions which I added, air tickets rewards card, Emirates card. So these two propositions are also added here. So that is how you can add the propositions in bulk. Okay. So that is how you'll add the propositions in bulk. Okay. And
Here, like while importing, if you have like deleted any of this proposition, it will also automatically get deleted, right?
correct. I mean, if you, there is an option, I think when you select, right, if it's an option is there, add or update, like that option is there. Okay. So if you select update, then it will delete. If it is not there, it will delete also.
Okay.
Same like insert new and insert and override, right? So if you say only insert, then it will not delete anything existing one. Otherwise, it will, if you say update, then it will delete. If any rows are not there in the file, it will delete them from here also. Okay. So it's important that you select the correct option as per the need. Okay.
It is same like how we are importing the data type.
Yeah, same thing. Same. So that's the reason in the beginning, the starting session only I told that everyone should have minimum Pega development experience, 2 to 3 years experience, so that you know all these data types, importing, exporting, all this you will be know, right? So only thing we are learning CDH on top of the Pega development. So without Pega development, it will be difficult to understand the things. Okay. So please parallelly take a Pega development course also if you did not take already. That's my recommendation. Okay. So now what we have seen, we have created the business taxonomy. We created the business issue, which is PY issue, business group, which is PY group, propositions, which are PY name, and we have seen how to do bulk import also. Okay. So then everything will be created under your SR class, which is, you can see that it is already present under SR class. So when you create at least one business issue, automatically this SR class will be created. Then as you keep adding the issues, then the issue class will be created. As you keep adding the groups, then the groups classes will be created. Then depending on where you are creating the properties, you can use the properties in that particular class or in other issues and other groups also. So that is what we have seen till now. Okay, I hope that it is understood till here, whatever we have seen. So what we will do quickly is, again, they have extended the demo session, but most likely it will not be there tomorrow. So mostly they will ask you to enroll. Okay, so please go ahead and enroll so that you will be getting the exercises, PPTs, daily recordings, everything. Okay, everything is recorded. You will be getting recordings, PPTs, exercises, and at the end of the session, like I told, the dumps will be given, certification assistance and project assistance will be there. Okay. So let us quickly see how do we use this in the strategy. See again, strategies are the main important components for your Pega decisioning. The entire Pega decisioning will work with the output of strategy. Okay, with the output of strategy. So I told you, right? Decisioning, Pega decisioning part will identify the next best action. So that means it will identify for a particular customer what is the next best action that we need to give. That is the right offer at right time to the right customer. Okay. So depending on the customer's behavior, depending on whatever he latest purchased, all those things, the next best action will be deferred. So the strategy will provide you the next best action. Okay. The strategy will provide the next best action to the campaign, and the campaign will send the offers to the customers through emails, SMS, push notification, and all that. Okay. But the decision making is done by strategy. Communication is done by marketing. Okay. So that is what we are going to see. So everything will ultimately be given as output of strategy. Everything will be ultimately given as output of strategy, whatever the propositions that you are creating. Okay. So you can create the strategies from intelligence strategies, or you can also create the strategies from records category. If you go to the decision, here also you can create the strategy. So that is the advantage which I told you in the initial session. All the Pega decisioning topics you can practice in personal edition also. If you feel like the backup and all those everyday taking export of entire package and all that, all the Pega decisioning topics that we are going to see, you can practice them in your personal edition so that you don't need to take backup and other things. But Pega marketing, you might need to create in the cloud, or I will tell you some other alternate also for that. I have some thought on that, how to do that. So try to at least practice in the personal edition, whatever we are seeing for now. Okay, for now, until we go for Pega marketing topics. So you can create the strategies from decision category. So if you come to the Dev Studio, decision strategy, or you can create the strategy from intelligence strategies. Here also you can create the strategies. So let us go ahead and let us create a new strategy from the CDH portal. So that is what I'm doing. Okay, from the CDH portal, I'm creating. Okay. So, so if you see the business issue group is credit cards. So what I'm doing, I'm calling the first strategy as first strategy. So I'll show you what all these options are there. Now, second thing is you have to create your strategies generally under your customer class. Okay. So if you see in the App Studio, we have our primary context, which is 99% of the time it will be customers. So in your projects also, in my projects also, the primary context will be most of the time customer only. Okay, which is the primary context. That means to the existing customers you are promoting. That is the meaning of that, right? So if you go to the App Studio settings, right here, my primary context is what? Customer. Now, if you click on the gear icon, I can see the details of where these customers are present. You can see it is present under ubank-cdh-data-customer. Okay. So that is the class where they are present. So when you are creating strategies also, you will create your strategies under customer class. Okay. So you need to check what is your customer class. So if you go to your application App Studio, and if you go to the context dictionary in the settings, then you can find out what is your customer class name. Okay. You can find out what is your customer class name. So in the same, that class only you have to create your strategies also. Okay. Strategies needs to be kept in artifacts rule set. Okay, remember this. These are all the standard rules. Strategies needs to be kept in the artifacts rule set along with auto-generated rules. So if you remember, I told artifacts rule set will store the auto-generated rules. That means whenever you are doing some changes on the CDH portal, some backend rules will be created. Those will automatically go into CDH artifacts. So along with those artifact auto-generated rules, strategies also needs to be kept in the artifacts rule set. That is what you need to remember here. Okay. Now that's the reason I'm creating first strategy. I'm creating it in the customer class. So now just remember this business issue and business group that I'm selecting. Okay. Remember this business issue. What I'm selecting grow credit cards. Now this selection is important. When you are creating the strategy, this selection is important. So what you will do in the strategy means you will define the logic. You will make the decisions. Okay. Based on your business requirement, you will make the decisions. All the logic creation will be done in the strategy itself. So this strategy, when I am creating it in the grow credit cards class. What is the difference? What is the significance of that? So if you go to the import, and if you say I have an option called proposition data, so that is how you will import the proposition data. So if you double click on this, right? So this is nothing but simply just importing the offers, right? Importing the propositions. That's what I'm doing. You can see the business issue and the business group is disabled. Okay. You see, I cannot select some other business issue. I cannot select some other business group. It is disabled for me because while creating the strategy itself, I have selected business issue as grow, business group as credit cards. That means indirectly what it means is this strategy will contain only the logic. It will contain only the logic that is applicable or that is suitable for these offers. Okay, some kind of decision making logic that is using only these offers, not the other issue and other group offers. So, okay, again, even if I say offers, don't consider as offers, so just indirectly consider as propositions. Okay. So it is going to consider only this group, this issue and this group propositions as part of the logic creation. It will not use some other issue and some other group. That is the meaning of this. Okay. So whenever you are defining the requirement, whenever you are defining a strategy, if your requirement is specifically to make the decisions only for grow and credit cards, then only you select this particular issue and group. Okay, let us say I need to use some propositions from acquire and from retain. Then I cannot select anything. So you can simply keep it as none and then proceed. That is the best option that you need to do. So whenever you are creating a strategy, it is very important to keep in mind that if your requirement is specific to using the next best actions from a particular issue or particular group, then only select it. For example, I want to use the propositions from all these things. For example, some requirement I need to send a credit card, some requirement I need to send a mortgage. Then you can keep it as none. Okay, you can keep it as none so that you can select the propositions from different groups. Okay, you can select from different groups. Otherwise, if I want to use the propositions from different issues, then I'm keeping my business issue as empty, business group as empty. That's what I'm doing. So again, I'm calling first strategy, and like we discussed, you need to keep your strategies in customer class. This is my customer class. So now I'm not selecting anything, I'm selecting none. That's what I did. Now if you try to import the propositions, so now if you try to import the proposition, you can see I have an option to select from different issues and different groups. I can select different propositions also, right? So previously it is disabled, but now it is enabled. Okay, now it is enabled. Okay, now it is enabled and I can select different issue propositions. So for example, I want to import all the propositions. I can say like grow import all. Okay, for example, my scenario is whenever the customer's income is greater than 1 lakh per month, I need to propose standard card. Okay, for example, I can do like this, like that also. I'll say import credit cards, I will say standard card. So that what I'm doing here, that means I'm importing only one proposition. Okay, I'm importing only one proposition, that is called standard card. Then if you want to import another proposition, you can just do import proposition data. So this entire area, you call it as canvas. Okay, this entire area, you call it as strategy canvas, the white color background that you see. And ultimately, whatever is coming to the results component, that will be the output of your strategy. Okay, whatever is coming to the results component, that will be the output of your strategy. So you can add the components by clicking on the plus button and you can add it, or you can also right click and add the components. So anywhere you right click, then you can say import proposition data. Like this also you can add. So you can add the components to the strategy either from here or from right clicking onwards. So now, for example, whenever you import the proposition data, you can import all the propositions. When you see, I'm saying import all from group. Okay, right? Import all from group, but you not select anything. So it will import from credit cards, it will import from deposit accounts, it will import the propositions from mortgages also. But I want to import the propositions from this particular group, then I can say grow credit cards import all. Okay, you can say it will import all these propositions into the strategy. That is what it will do. Okay, for example, if you want to see, now here I imported only one proposition. You see, here I imported only one proposition, that is grow credit card standard card. But here in the below, what I have done is I have imported all the credit cards. Okay. So again, you want to make decisions based on this particular group, then you select that. Otherwise, you can select some other group. So then same like how you connect the flow, the process flow, right? Same way you will connect it. Okay. Just like your process flow, right? Just like your process flow, it will execute from left side to right side. Okay. Strategy will also execute from left to right. And same like process flow, and it will pass the output from this component to this component, it will pass the output. So then you have two modes. One is the select mode. That means you can select the components like this. Okay, using the select mode. Let us say your strategy has become very big and your components has gone on the top. You can move your strategy canvas by using the pan mode. Okay, so using the pan mode, you can move your strategy components left and right, up and down. Okay, you can move like left and right, up and down, because some components are there which is going out of the canvas. You cannot see them, it went outside. So if you want to move, you can move like this. Using the pan mode, you can move it. And same like a process flow. So again, this is where the development knowledge is needed, right? In the process flow also, we have this mini map. We call it as mini map. So that mini map is also there in the strategy also. Because if your components will go outside of the screen, then you can minimize this canvas by using the mini map. That is what you can do. Any questions still here? Understood. Any questions?
Yeah, this I have understood. But only one question from starting I have. What is this next best action you're saying, right? So what would be the criteria to pick for the next best action?
So it depends. It depends on several things. It depends on the requirement. Okay. See, best example I'm giving. For example, a customer, like requirement is coming like this. A customer who has recently opted for credit card should be given the basic credit card as standard card. Okay, that is one requirement. So what you will do, you will say whether the customer table is there, right? You have the customer table, and in the customer table, how do you know? Everything will be based on your properties, right? Customers, let us say another thing. Customer annual income is greater than 1 lakh. Then he should be proposed with standard card as offer. Otherwise, if the customer annual income is less than or monthly income is less than 1 lakh, then propose some other card. So all this kind of logic you will define in the strategy. Okay. So then how do you check all the conditions? You will check based on this customer data. That's the reason we are creating the strategy in the customer class, which is a recommended way of creating strategies, so that you can use the properties directly in the strategy itself. We'll come to that. How to check the customer's
Okay.
properties, all those will come to that. But this is my customer table, which contains all the columns, like his name, income, email, phone number. Okay. What is the product he purchased? That will be in the products table. Like that, you'll have associations, right? So you need to check this information in the strategy, and you need to propose the appropriate offer. Remember, the strategy output is only to identify the next best action based on the requirement that you have. My requirement is based on the annual income, based on the monthly income, some credit card should be given as a offer. Like how you show on the mobile, right? If your income is more, you might get some premium card in the mobile application. Otherwise, you might get some basic card when you open the mobile application. The same backend logic we are doing here. Okay, same backend logic you are doing here. You see all the data is there, customer data. What is the age, income, credit score that is having, okay, and the Facebook ID and SMS opt-in, whether he opted for email, whether he opted for SMS. So all this will come from the downstream systems. Okay, they will be loading the information to this. Okay, how do you know? You don't know, right? Because whether customer opted or not, something from the website, maybe something from the applications, mobile applications. From there, the system has to pass to Pega, right? So then this customer has opted for email, this customer opted for SMS. So like that, all the information is there. So some requirement, the customer opted for email, then send an email with the list of credit cards that we have. That is the requirement. Okay, that is the requirement. So that kind of marketing you are doing here. Okay.
Okay.
Now I have connected this component to this component. Now how do we run the strategy? How do I test the strategy? How do I execute it? So for that, you need to click on this toggle. You call it as arrow toggle that is there, right? You click on this arrow toggle on the right. Then you click on the run button. That is what you have to do. Okay. So you click on the arrow toggle and click on the run button. Then if you scroll down, you can see what is the output of the strategy. So generally, the output of the strategy is when you run with a particular customer, let us say customer ID. Okay, this customer ID is the primary key, right? So which is the unique ID, customer ID 14, 15, all these customer IDs are there. So when you run with the when you run the strategy with a customer like customer ID 14, then some particular credit card should be given to him. When you run with some other customer with customer ID 16, some other credit card should be offered to that customer. So all we are doing is marketing, but in the strategy we are going to do next best action. That is, what is the next best action? That is the right offer to the right customer at right time. So depending on the customer profile, customer behavior, different offers will be given to them. So that's what we are going to do here. Now, if you see, I did not keep any logic. I just simply imported my propositions and I send it to the results. So I have 6 propositions are there, if you see, right? So already in our system, in our sample application, some four credit cards are there. Then while bulk upload, I have imported 2 more. So that's in total 6 propositions are there, 6 credit cards. So all the 6 are being sent as a strategy output. So this is where you can see the strategy output. So I clicked on this icon and I clicked on the run button. So then I can see strategy is giving 6 propositions as output. So you can see the first page, then you can go to the second page. Okay, third page, this is rewards plus card, and the fourth one, that is premier rewards card. Okay, and the fifth page, that is air ticket rewards card. So there is no logic, right? Everything we are sending right now. In the coming sessions, we will define some logic and we'll do some logic creation. So sixth offer is Emirates card. That is what we are giving. So what I did is I imported all of the propositions, but let us say I'm importing only one. Okay, I can do that also. So when I can say import all, or I can say import only one proposition, I can do. So let us say I want to import something else also. Then you can add one more. Okay, you can add one more also. You can say import proposition data. Okay, like you can say like this also. Instead of importing everything, I want to define the logic for 2 propositions only. Then I can do like this: grow credit cards. Then let us say standard card I'm taking. Okay, so this is rewards card, this is standard card. Like this I am connecting. So these 2 will be the output of the strategy right now, because there is no logic, just we are importing the offers. Okay, now it will execute the first path, then it will execute the second path. That is how it will be. Okay, left to right, top to bottom. Okay, if you are having multiple paths, left to right, top to bottom, that is how your execution will happen. So first it will execute this path. Okay, this offer is looking good, it will give in the output. Then again, second offer, this offer is looking good, this will give in the output. That is what I'm getting. So first offer is rewards card, second offer is standard card. That is what I have here. Okay. Now, another good thing or a best practice that you can do, it's not mandatory, just it is a best practice, is to add annotations. Any strategies, if you add annotations, that will be looking good, and also it will help other people to understand what you are doing, so that every time they will not bother you what you are doing here. Okay, so that is called annotations. So this is similar to your comments in the activity or step description, you call it an activity, and in the comments in the data transform, same like that only. So it is not mandatory, it is not required also, but it's a good practice. Okay, it's a good practice that you do the annotation, which is nothing but what you are doing, you'll just mention it here. Say, for example, imported 2 credit cards, proposition, rewards card, and standard card. So that is what the annotation will do. It is not impacting your functionality. It is not going to deviate your requirement. Just it will give you some insights of what you are doing. So when there is a complex strategy with 20, 30, 40 components, you can always add a annotation so that it will be like good looking, and it will also inform the other people what you are doing here. So best practice, just to follow a best practice. Okay. Okay. So that's what we are planned for today. Any questions? We just got started with strategy. We have more components are there, which we'll see in the tomorrow session. But again, please go ahead and enroll with confidence. You will get the recording, you will get the PPT, you will get the certification assistance, project assistance, everything. Okay, so please enroll, and hoping to see most of you as paid people from tomorrow. And mostly they might change the link also. So please connect with them and enroll to the course. Any questions before we close today's demo?
Yeah, one question. Like in Pega development, we have these frameworks and all this. In CDH, do we have this kind of?
CDH is a framework, right?
Yeah, it is a framework. And
You mean to say
inside,
organization framework?
yeah.
Yeah, it will be there. Same, it will be there. You can use some organization framework. You can keep some reusable component strategies, everything there. Okay.
Okay.
Same like how, because this application definition is same for CDH and development, right? Here only you will
yeah.
add your organization application. Okay. Then you will switch to that. Any reusable things are there, you can create it there. Same concept.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
You
Yeah,
have
Ravi.
interview process, right? Or
Sorry?
Hello, Ravi. I am Sai Kiran.
Yeah. Tell me, sir.
Yeah, like I don't have any CDH knowledge, but I have Pega knowledge.
That's why we are learning.
Okay.
Right.
No. Like, how can I add the project experience and for interviews?
Yeah. At the end of the course,
Okay.
I will share you some 4 to 5 projects. Okay.
Okay.
Those projects I'll explain you. in
Okay.
detail what the project will do, everything. The same project you can keep in the resume. Okay.
Okay.
So by
Yeah.
the end of this course, you
Okay.
can definitely say that you have 2 years of experience or 3 years of experience, 2 to 3 years experience, depending on how much you practice, right? If you
Okay.
just follow and practice whatever topics we learn in the course, that is enough to
Okay.
clear the certification and also to get the job. But you will get like a minimum junior level experience, 2 to 3 years experience, you can say. Provided every single topic that we are learning, you need to practice. You need to know what is this rule set, business taxonomy, business issue, creating the business issue, business groups, creating the strategy, the components of the strategy, what is the purpose of that. Everything you need to practice, whatever we are learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll share the projects to everyone.
Okay. Yeah. For personal edition, like which version we need to install?
Personal edition, you can install 8.7. I think you can check with the organizer, they will give you the personal
Okay.
edition.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, please install everyone. You can for now practice every decisioning topic in your personal edition itself. In the decision category, everything is there. You see strategies are there. Okay, decision data, which I told you, that is there. Everything will be there here. For Pega marketing, I have a different approach. I will go with tell you that later.
Okay.
Okay, fine guys. So looking forward to see you all tomorrow.